On the previous episode,
look at this!
I headed into Banff National Park, where I set my sights on doing the Beehive loop. Now this entails Lake Agnes, the Little Beehive, the Big Beehive, Devil's Thumb, and potentially the 6 Plains of Glacier. Now these are multiple different hikes, but not wanting to pay the $21 parking fee, again, I would attempt to do all of these in a single day. After finding a place to park at the Skokokie trailhead, I would settle in for the night as I watched the sunset.
Good morning. After just barely getting one of the last parking spots at 6 a.m. and paying $21 for parking, I got the sunrise here at Lake Louise. So officially just turned off on the Lake Agnes trail, dropping all the tourists. It's my first hike back after hurting my right tendon, and ironically it's my left ankle that feels a little bit tender. My right feels fine. So most of this trail is in the forest, surprisingly. As a filmmaker, this place tests your patience. Set up a tripod, get a perfect shot, then someone will just step right in front of your camera to get their selfie. Definitely pick the right time of day to do this. I'd recommend getting here between 5 and 6 a.m. if you want parking, and also have the cool weather going up. If you show up here at like noon, even if you can get parking or you take the shuttle, it's gonna be scorching hot up here. One thing I didn't expect on this trail is to have the smell of horse dung all the way up. So this trail is basically like a highway, and it's built robust enough for horses. They do horse tours up here, I guess, so I keep seeing signs for that. So yeah, there's piles and piles of horse crap everywhere. Exhibit A. So an hour into this trail, just starting to break out into the open now. And you also can feel it hotter up here, but the views should also be getting better. So this here's Lake Agnes, and I'm gonna go up to Little Beehive next, then Big Beehive and Devil's Thumb. And then I think I can probably go down to the plain at 6 Glaciers. I want to try to do this all one day, like I said. Don't want to pay the $21 for parking again. So this giant lineup appears to be the Lake Agnes tea house. Check out all these propane tanks for the restaurant there. Surprisingly, they have a bathroom up here too. There's a water tank there where there's a hose that goes down there. There's a pump station down below. They pump the water up to the tank to be able to use them. We're getting a little bit of vertigo standing up on this this rock here. Pretty awesome spot. Apparently if you get here by noon, there's a ton of people up here and it's really hard to get a good solo photo like this. It's the summit of Little Beehive. Right now I have to make some decisions. There's either Mount St. Piran, which would be a much bigger objective. With my foot being injured and kind of the first hike back, I think I'm going to go down, then go up the Big Beehive, Devil's Thumb, and then the Six Plains of Glacier. I'm going to go take some photos from 1905 or 1904, old timers that went up into the glacier and took photos. I want to recreate those photos. So I got to get way out onto that glacier there where it used to be. All right, just heading down now, and as my buddy Corey would say, time to put on cruise control and crank down to Lake Agnes. I've drank all my water and I dumped all my extra water, and I will filter water at Lake Agnes to save weight. And then I will head up to the Big Beehive, which is straight ahead of me here. Just look at this mountain, absolutely epic. And that's Devil's Thumb way up there. That lake from earlier. And just like that, and there's now a lineup to go to the toilet, the long one. 20 people.
The daily.
Hey, there's a fish right there. So you can see the trail goes up the backside of the Big Beehive, up like that, a couple zigzags, and then Beehive this way, and Devil's Thumb up that way. So on the backside here we've got Mount St. Piran up here. So I think that's the backside trail comes into this bowl here and down that scree. Make a go for the glacier today, so I'm not going to go up there, but maybe another day here. Pretty significant exposure down here though.
Near the summit of the big Beehive, I couldn't believe my eyes. An illegal drone flight. With fines up to $25,000, you won't catch me doing that. Now what you didn't see is when I first showed up, those guys are just 10 feet below me. I called down telling them it's illegal to fly in National Park. Before they took off, they didn't care, they moved behind a tree, and he continued to take off his drone. It was at this point I decided to confront them.
You guys know you can't fly in a national park, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty hefty fines.
It was at this moment I realized he's an idiot.
I do the same, but I can't fly because of the national park rule.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
The national park ban on drones is precisely the reason I got this 360 camera.
All the little boats and canoes down there, just little specks. So you can see the little beehive that we just did before right there. I really feel conflicted about that drone situation because I'm not a tattletale, I've never been a tattletale. But at the same token, it's unfair business practice. It's getting shots that no one else is allowed to get. And I know the federal government does not issue permits at all for drone usage in the parks. You technically need a permit to film with your cell phone, with a camera, with anything in any of these national parks, like on the Beehive here, Lake Louise. To post this on TikTok and YouTube and whatever else, Instagram, you actually need a permit. Now, there's 1,000 people or 5,000 people per day filming and posting without permits. I actually have a permit. I got a permit. I did everything by the book. So to come along with that guy using a Mini 3 Pro off the cliff, getting incredible shots, it grinds my gears. Unfair business practice. Maybe for the fact that I've been struggling so much on this YouTube channel to have it grow, but I don't like to see when people are breaking the rules for shots they're not allowed to get. At this point, you'll know if I put the footage in or not, because And now this is afterwards, after I got confronted him there, and he just said, well, that's the reason I is to come up here, but like that doesn't make any sense. I think he's just shocked that I caught him flying a drone up here. The real problem with it is people break the rules and then nobody can do anything. Maybe at one point there would have been, or there could have been a place to fly a drone at the bottom of Lake Louise in a little designated area, but because people break the rules, now nobody can. So I just don't like it. I do everything by the book, and everything on my channel is by the book. And some people may argue I've got some drone footage in Strathcona, but that's been approved by Parks Manager. So everything is legal on my channel, so I don't like it when I see people breaking the law up here.
On the next episode, I continue my attempt of my giant loop of attractions along Lake Louise, including Devil's Thumb, which would prove to be the most terrifying hike I've ever done.
Where are you going?
I don't want one up.
A creek house? Should we take it?
I mean, the glaciers are
It's hot.
nice.
Don't be fooled by those majestic shots. It's an absolute zoo around here.